Alright, welcome back to another Embrace Destiny video, everyone. Kaz PhD here. Gonna play a round or two of the Crucible and just quickly give some updates concerning Destiny 2 and some updates concerning me and what I'm up to. So, Destiny 2 updates. We've seen some posts from Bungie regarding changes coming to the Crucible, namely they're going to change some of the mechanics, some of the way that different Crucible matches work to make them a bit more fast-paced, dynamic, interesting. They're going to bring the Mercy rule back, so games where you're completely winning or completely losing, the match will just end instead of dragging it out to its full length duration. You know, a lower number of lives in the survival mode so the matches are more intense and don't last as long. Bunch of stuff like that. It's really nice to see, actually. People have been making complaints, but I think with Destiny 2, their Crucible was very new. As much as they learned a lot from Destiny 1, they tried to make Destiny 2's Crucible very team-based, very fast-paced and dynamic, and I think a lot of people have kind of settled into it, but I think that some of these changes needed to be made, but they could only be made after they were observed in the community. So it's nice to see that. Of course, a lot of everything I say here is based toward what I would call the casual crowd. I play this game a lot, and depending on the luck of the day, my skill can approach maybe the 1%ers, but it's usually a lot lower than that. So yeah, if you're one of those people who play this game religiously and you're extremely good at it, you're gonna probably have problems with the end game, with the design. But I think the changes are coming, and the changes are good. Next, new content. So this is really exciting. Couple of things. First of all, the trailer for the first expansion for Destiny 2, the Curse of Osiris. The trailer is now live. Very, very interesting. Hold on. Did that not really hurt him at all? That grenade didn't hit him at all. Very interesting. I guess he's got the rift. Anyway, Curse of Osiris trailer is out. It's live. I would definitely recommend checking it out. It looks interesting. It's a little bit expository. It just includes some storytelling. But I don't really have a problem with that, considering that a lot of people don't really know who Osiris is and could stand to have a little bit of a history lesson on him. So that's really interesting, and I'm really hoping for... There's a lot of cool stuff that comes with Osiris. If you're unfamiliar with who Osiris is, I would definitely recommend checking out My Name is Bife or Mylan Games, two YouTubers who really focus on the lore of the... Oh, my aim is off today. There we go. Who really focus on the lore of the game. But basically, Osiris is they explained it in the trailer. Osiris is a powerful character who seems to know a lot about the Vex and his return. He could be returning as a friend or as a dangerous enemy. So... yeah. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Did I not? I didn't get him. Oh. Nope. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, Curse of Osiris is coming. And the second expansion to Destiny 2, not sure what it's going to be called, but it's the Rasputin-themed one. It is coming out in, quote, the spring of 2018. So, new content coming. Also, they mentioned in a tweet, or I don't know, something somewhere, that the Dawning will be the first holiday event. It's reasonably safe to assume that the first major event, other than the Iron Banner, I guess, will be the Dawning and will be occurring around the winter holiday. Come on, dude. Oh, he's behind that thing. Oh, didn't throw that grenade far enough. But that's still alive. Oh, almost dead. This grenade goes on forever, doesn't it? Yeah, so that's about it for new content. Like I said, changes coming, and changes coming and new expansions announced, so very exciting stuff. On top of that, we have prestige raids. They're trying to increase the viability of the end game. So this is a longer conversation that I want to have in this video. If you want more, nice, got it. If you want more, oh, I gotta get out of here. Too many people. If you want more thoughts on that, I have I can put a link in the description below to a longer, basically. Basically, has been having a problem with their end game where they've been having. Ooh, good shot. Keeping people interested once they've beaten the majority of the content. Even though there's content in Destiny 2, I would argue, than in its stages in Destiny 1. If you play anything a lot, you will consume through it fast. And without the ability to, like, variations on the same weapon, without the ability to do I keep getting killed by what I consider lucky last-minute bullets, but that ability to grind for those, you know, elusive god-rolled weapons. Oh, their whole team is there. Not good, not good. And there's somebody behind me. Great. Let's go up here. Yeah, anyway. What is going on?
That shut them down.
What's that person doing? Am I lagging? Anyway, that guy distracted me so much I don't remember what I was saying. That's fair. I got way over my head there. So anyway, I think that's about it for the Destiny news. Definitely check out Mesa Sean YouTube channel. He does updates pretty much every single, and where you can find all of Cade 6's treasure chests for there. So I think it's a good place. Concerning me, and some of the changes are coming up for me. So I just released that look at it's not good. That highlight. Wow, I did not see him. That's terrible. Just finished a big report with my company, Northern Sky Research. I was looking at the Earth observation industry, so from satellite imagery and from the information and products that are so that was a big effort. That was a big effort, and I was glad to finally get through it. There we go. It was a nice accomplishment to finally get through an entire report all on my own, leading through that. Leading off of that, I'm actually going to a conference next week in Estonia. If you're not really sure where Estonia is, oh, hold on. If you imagine, ooh, that guy died fast. Oh, sword? Huh. If you that Russia is like a surging wave crashing to the coast of Central Europe, which could be possibly an offensive way of thinking about it, but just should I pop my super? Not sure. Nah. Anyway, if you think of it that way, then Estonia is the northernmost part of that wave, directly underneath Finland and right beside Russia. The conference is the part of the European Space Week, the Space Satellite Master. Oh. Yeah, it's part of the Space Week. I'm going to be doing a talk there discussing earlier. How unexciting. That's fine. Yeah, moment.
This time. Well, but I'm sorry. Not this time.
Yeah, anyway, it's going to be, I'm doing a round table where we're going to be discussing, 1.43, that's okay. Going to be discussing the economics of the space industry, so we're looking at anything from that Earth observation I mentioned before, through satellite manufacture, launch, telecommunications, Basically, if it's a satellite or if it's involving the space industry in a commercial sense, we're going to be talking about how to make money and how to foster relationships to better improve the technology and things like that. So that's going to be interesting. It might even be live cast, in which case I'll try to include a link. Check out my Twitter. You can follow the link below to stream to get to that. If you're interested in seeing what I look like and what I do for a living. But other than that, yeah, Halloween here is pretty exciting stuff. I'm in France right now. It's where I'm living, and France doesn't really do Halloween. It's an interesting thing. I've been thinking about it more and more the last few years, but France doesn't really do Halloween, mostly because they see it as a kind of commercial American, but mostly a consumer-based commercial holiday, and they don't really want to be involved in that kind of thing. France is against a lot of that kind of activity. So anytime there is any kind of Halloween event here, it's usually just an excuse for young people to get drunk, which you could argue is maybe a bit of the reasoning for doing it in North America as well. Some of my friends actually have encountered instances where they are not celebrating Halloween either. So one of my friends who's very into Halloween and spooky things, he's a teacher, and he's a teacher in Canada, in Toronto, and none of his students come from any kind of Christian background, and most of them either don't know about or care about Halloween at all, or they are not actually allowed to participate because their religious beliefs have a principle that any kind of interaction with the dead, even in a joking way, is disrespectful. And I found that kind of interesting. I mean, I've been so far removed from any religious or even Christian implications of anything, let alone Halloween, for such a long time I hadn't considered it. For me, it's just a day of candy and costumes and fun. But I can understand where people are coming from there, so it's kind of interesting. But if you are celebrating, I hope you're having a good time. I hope the weather's great. It's clear as a bell here where I am in France. And yeah, I hope that if you are playing Destiny 2, I hope you're enjoying it. If you're not playing, I hope you are enjoying whatever else you're up to in life. Feel free to leave a comment below if you have some ideas of some things, or if you have some questions for me about what I do for a living, or what I'm thinking about such and such in Destiny, or otherwise. Yeah, thank you very much for stopping by and making it to the end of the video. I really appreciate that. So, try to make a new video every week. I usually do streams over at twitch.tv/Kaz_PhD. My schedule's pretty erratic. I'm trying to focus that down, but it's a little difficult. Anyway, long video is long. Have a good one. See you all in November, and yeah, be good out there. Thanks for listening and watching. Bye now.